Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Dusk had long set over the Andalian army. They had set up their camp at the base of the Mountain of the Moon, and now any Valeman who claimed to be anyone rammed themselves into the King's Pavilion. "If we circle around Old Anchor, we may cut her off from the sea. She cannot be allowed to escape. I had shown my cousin mercy, and now I find more pretenders, more would-be usurpers molesting my land." Florian pointed at the map, moving a wooden star towards a perching falcon, half bent over the oaken table. Before a council of war, Ambrose was listening selectively. His father had passed his plan past some 20 times by now. Not for reassurance. Gods be good, the last thing Florian ever needed was reassurance. Or so it seemed to Ambrose. He never wavered, for better or worse it would seem. Ambrose looked around the fabric court. He saw a battered golden tree, its roots cut by blades. He also saw 2 shields, both emblazoned with lions, one of red and one of gold, both metal, both dented. He saw 3 or 4 Northman standards, their paint fading away, and with deep cuts. Ambrose was pleased to be back in the Vale. After the death of his son, he and his wife had returned to the capital, so that she could be close to her family. Ambrose held a great disdain for that reeking sore. He thought on when he would be king. He would find any excuse to leave the capital. He was happy in the Eyrie. He kept a court of not even 10 courtiers, where in the capital there were hundreds. He pondered if he in truth could rule from the Eyrie, hand the reins of the city to those who could stomach the political scheming. So even though he was here with ill purpose, he found himself glad that his son's death did not shroud these mountains where in truth he had found true peace. Florian had noticed his son's mental absence, but paid it no heed in front of his vassals. "That will be all, my lords. You may take your leave," Florian said, turning away toward a table where various meats were placed to sate his vast king's appetite. It was then that Lord Anvil made to speak, and Florian, with a ham leg firmly between his hands and a bite filling his mouth, spat out, "That will be all, my lord," as the Lord of the Fingers scurried away. Ambrose made to do the same. "Not you, stay," Florian said, pieces of ham spitting across the oak, splattering like rocky peninsulas that his region was so well known for. "I hope I don't keep you awake, my prince." Florian peered at his son's eyes like Colbert daggers. Ambrose didn't answer, bar an answering stare of submission, still half rising from his chair. Ambrose slumped back into his seat, ready for another lecture on diligence and duty. Ambrose did his duty, so far as Florian saw it, but no further. He would constantly preach, "It is a birthright to rule this land, but only a great man may control it." Ambrose often found himself wondering if he was that man, if he could live up to the legacy left by the last 2 monarchs, or even the ones to come. Ambrose reached across for his goblet, prepared for his involuntary lesson. His father had taken no special interest in his education, only as far as making sure he could use a blade. The rest was the duty of Maester Benfrey or the Bronze Lord. He found it queer that now Florian was suffocating Ambrose with duty. He took a deep breath and looked around the tent once more, as Florian set aside the gorged leg. And then the crown of winter, its cold iron reverberating off the table. He saw Mother's Mercy sat on a plinth, its rubies glistening in the nearby brazier, which hissed as the wind came hurtling past the crimson silk entrance. Florian, after stealing 1 or 2 more bites, finally broke the pause. "I resign myself from this campaign henceforth. I will be here, but as a commander. This is your campaign. Who is the king of the Vale if not the Lord of the Eyrie? They think you are weak-willed and disinterested. Prove them wrong. Every Sevenstar has a flame in them. My father wasn't adverse to using it. He knew its place. I fear at times I have been waving it around like a banner. They are yet to see yours. Show them." Ambrose stammered and stuttered in self-doubt. A sundry half-spoken compliments and curtsies left this young prince's tongue, to which Florian waved his hand and said, somewhat frustrated, "Stop it! Do you think yourself Benfrey? I am your father. Drop the curtsies and pick up your courage, boy." Florian hated nothing more than a coward. As a man more than anything, he always trumpeted that he was the head of this family, the protector, and spoke how even as a child he had bloodied himself to defend his mother. Ambrose bristled at that boy. He was 25, Lord of the Vale, and tempered if not a seasoned warrior. "I am not a boy," Ambrose answered reservedly. "Is that so? All I see is a boy who sits in a man's castle." Florian was now leaning face to face with his son, an heir across the table. He reeked of sweat, pear brandy, and perfumes. "I am not a boy," Ambrose said with more assurance. "Are you certain?" Before Florian could finish, Ambrose interjected and screamed, "I am not a boy. I am a man, Prince of Stars and Lord of the Eyrie." Florian's eyes glimmered and he smiled his charming smile. He had found his son's flame. Ambrose had always in battle used anger, not bravery, but anger does just as well. Florian grabbed his son, one hand on his bony collarbone and the other behind his head of coal-black hair. Florian flicked his own head towards the din of the camp. "Then show them," he whispered with pride. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Knights of Andalia with High King Florian the Eagle. Yeah, I actually forgot about this. At the end of the last episode we have a Arryn pretender, don't we, who has tried to claim the Mountain and Vale. Queen Corrine of Mountain and Vale, who is married to King Jorrance of Mountain and Vale, a random Coldwater guy. Okay, so... and she has some Blackwood. So she used to be married to the previous Blackwood Lord then, obviously, because we have a young child Blackwood Lord, don't we now? Is that her son, I'm thinking? So, yes, but he stayed loyal to the crown, so that's fine. Why is he betrothed to... oh, no, she's 15. She just looks a hell of a lot older. That's a nice marriage between a Turnbridge and a Blackwood, keeping those ties close in the Riverlands. But anyway, yes, her army was invading... I think it was ported in Duskendale at present, but we have called up our Mountain and Vale host, which should be more than enough to deal with this host. I don't think she had that much manpower, did she, if I remember correctly from the last episode? Yeah, 20, or just shy of 23,000. That's going to be no problem. We've got Florian and Ambrose leading... I thought we had Ambrose anyway, but I'm pretty sure that I called him up. Lord Cosgrove of Blackwater Bay has used up the title Lordship of Grandport. Okay, it doesn't really affect us. What's going on down there? Wow, a lot of stuff going on down there. But... yeah, Ambrose. Let's get Ambrose on the flank as well. Ambrose, Florian, and Walder Roseheart to lead this host. Because I think Danie's Royce will be busy at the moment, isn't he? He is training the children back in the capital. He's also wounded, so we don't want to risk anything happening to our best commander. But yeah, our troops are slowly gathering in Ghoultown. We're going to have plenty of troops there. What was Florian good at again? Bring it aggressively to Trickstar. So yeah, he wasn't out on the wings or anything like that, was he? So that's fine. Just make sure that we haven't got a flanker or anything like that. Don't know why I've just clicked on line up. So I don't know how long it's going to take this host to march northwards, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Lord Morgan of the Grey Cliffs has inherited High Lordship of Grey Cliffs and other titles from Lord Theomore the Fat. Lord Theomore the Fat has died of severe stress at the age of 41. He was actually a close friend of ours, so that is a shame. And Lord Morgan is now the new Lord of the Grey Cliffs. He's a decent commander. Skilled commander, but he's not a very good fighter. Still a squire. Is he the one who's... yes, who is married to our niece, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I think we already have non-aggression pacts and stuff like that, but we do now have an open council position for a new advisor. Let's have a look. Who have we got that has a very good opinion of us? Who we can trust? Everyone has a good opinion of Florian. We could just go for our son on the council, but I think he'd prefer to stay out of the way. Lord Belmont, who I don't know if he's our friend, but he has served us exceptionally well. We do have Lord Morgoth as well, the new Lord. Let's name Lord Morgoth as an advisor. He is a crown loyalist, so... my lord, it seems that Lady Myra of Ruthermont has finally decided to come out of hiding, no longer fearful for her life. That is a different Arryn, not the one that's trying to take the crown. And my young friend has finished his education in military strategy and command. It is evident that he has excelled in these studies. He is a skilled commander. Perfect. That's our ward, isn't it? I don't think we can knight him just yet, but hopefully we'll get the option to do that. We missed out on doing it with our last war because he inherited that land down in the Red Fort, didn't he? Can't see the enemy army yet on its way up, so that's fine. We're going to have a hell of a lot of manpower here to deal with it. So we don't have to worry about that too much. What have we got here? Just the colonising still, that's fine. Issue Declaration of Repentance. Yeah, we'll try and do that and see if we can lift that excommunication up on ourselves, because that's a bit problematic, isn't it, to be honest. We could probably search for a smith as well, because I do want to make... I'm going to do that now, actually. Because we made a sword for House Mud. I wanted to make something for House Redguard as well, to honour Adam, who obviously died in the war against the South. So I'd like to... but he did serve as well in that war before that, so I'd like to forge a weapon for House Redguard. I have got an idea of what I want to make for them. I'm pretty sure that we can do it. I'll just wait and see. We'll let Danes find us a nice blacksmith who's going to do that for us. To the High King Florian, we have heard your passionate plea for forgiveness. We are certain that you will be eager to prove sincerity of your repentance with a public act of contrition in our presence. Lose 450 prestige. I'm pretty sure we've got a shit ton of prestige, haven't we? Yes, 7,500. I will not humiliate myself. No, we'll do it and we'll get that excommunication lifted. I am forced to spend 3 days in the mud with my head covered in ash, dragging myself toward the High Septon's holy sept, before he finally decides to grant me his forgiveness, lifting my excommunication and welcome me back into the loving embrace of the Seven. I've never been so ashamed in my life. I don't think Florian would care all that much. And here is the Aaron host.
Filthy. That was the one word that came to mind for Florian as he regarded his current state. Having bathed in mud for 3 damn days, he was now forced to come before the Septons to show forgiveness. And the ash on his head stunk like a dragon's behind. It was behaviour that was beneath him, beneath any king that held power over the greatest kingdom in all of the continent. But it was necessary, and Florian had always done the most to secure the success of his kingdom, his dynasty, his legacy. Having left the cursed path, he had not been washed in anything and dressed in beggar's clothing. His brother had cautioned it, and while Enger certainly was a wise man and Florian had accepted the advice, he found it humiliating all the same. This had all started at the behest of his brother, to stave off any potential rebellions or justifying another war against Andalia. They had reached out to the faith, and Florian was now needed to beg for forgiveness for his past sins. The king had nearly threatened the messenger who relayed this information had he not been stopped. He was a king, not some damned peasant. Would the faith ever get such ideas again, Florian would make certain to punish them for their arrogance and slights. Approaching the Sept of Snow, some Septons there gave him queer looks as he approached. He ignored them. Soon enough, they would know him again for the king that he was. Reaching the door, he knocked on the wooden door thrice. There was a silence before they swung open. Several Septons awaiting the king of Andalia, holding back an annoyed sign. He entered the Sept. The doors fell back into their frame with a loud thud, though the king remained unmoved. Before him had several Septons gathered, each holding up a single candle and a blank face. Florian not answering their gazes. He knew what had to be done. He went down on his knees and lowered his head. One Septon took a few steps forward and looked down at the king. "Who comes here before the gods, asking for forgiveness?" His voice boomed through the large hall. "Florian, of the House Sevenstar. I have come to rectify my sins and regain my favour with the gods," he answered through gritted teeth, the humiliation growing larger by the moment. "And what sins are those, and why should the Seven forgive you now?" the head Septon asked, his voice showing no emotion. Florian smirked. "My sins do not matter. The Seven have never abandoned me," he shot back, raising his head. "What? How dare you question the power of the Seven? You are no king here but a sinner," the Septon shouted, infuriated. "I do not question them. I would never. I have never. It was your choice to say that I no longer have their blessing, yet I am certain you have erred that assumption," Florian said calmly, slowly getting back to his feet. "Submit to the gods. Cease your insolence," the head Septon demanded, other outcries followed by other men. Insolence. What was that even supposed to mean? "Please, I merely think you must understand, for the Seven have always favoured my house."
Did they not guide Sevenstar to these very shores, helping to finally spread the faith into the northern wastelands and establish worship of the Seven here, establishing this very sept? Am I wrong? Septon once more wanted to defy, yet Florian wagged a finger, and reluctantly the man murmured agreement. Did they not guide King Ambrose to take more of the north, making sure that those leal knights of Salzard and Firehand brought the faith to those heathens? And did Aengus II not end the tyranny of Arryn and Hunter, finally bringing peace back to those that worship the Seven there? Florian said, his smirk changing to a sly smile as he addressed them. More and more men murmured and spoke in agreement. Did they not favour the Queen Lyanna and Kyra in beating back the cruel heathen Titus? Did they not favour my father in deposing that bastard and beating back the Ironborn? Am I wrong in any of these? None said anything, but he saw it on their faces. He had them. They were under his spell, and now he would show them. He would teach them their own faith. And did they not favour me in beating my cousin's attempt at overthrowing me, at tearing the lion's teeth from its jaw? Once more silence. House Sevenstar and the faith are the pillars this kingdom is built on, and I do not believe the Seven have ever been ill-willed to my house. You have erred in your decision, and that I will not judge you for all men are made imperfect by the Seven, even those that have been chosen as their representatives here. So I ask you to make me once more a follower of our esteemed faith, or my belief has never wavered. Only that was not true, for he truly had, but they did not need to know that. After another brief silence, the lead septon spoke. We will need time. Time to consider. We shall answer you soon, your grace. Florian nodded, as they scuttled off, but he knew their answer already. He had known from the moment he stepped in here, and now only one thought went through his mind. He needed a bath. Which isn't that strong at all. Let's take this 22,000 and march it down to join here. Then they're going to go after the Wickeden lands. We'll be able to trap them there. We'll let the rest of the host gather its force in Ghoultown, but we'll send this 22,000 led by Florian straight into Darkmoor. Can we retreat this host? Yeah, we can. We'll go into the Bloody Gate then. We'll station ourselves in the Bloody Gate for now. I just missed that someone's 7-star died at the age of 20. Oh, Prince Enger now has his adult picture. Very nice. He's not got married yet. He will be married soon. His education's hopefully going well still. At the age of 27, your acquaintance Lord Cotter of the Seastone Isle died under suspicious circumstances. That doesn't really concern me too much. I'm not too bothered about that, if I'm honest. 14,000 there. 8,000 from Saltpans marking into Darkmoor. To get that under siege, that's fine. 28,000 here. They're crossing paths. Yep, we'll get the rest of them to merge here, and we'll get another commander in charge of that host. Who do we have? Let's go for Alistair Crowley. He is a Valeman. And Adrian Belmont. And Sir Jormor Waves. We're going to merge this host to our main host. What's the supply limit here? 25,000, so we are going to be slightly over, actually. That's fine. Queen Kareen is actually leading her host herself, which is interesting. The vassals of Andalia now view you with respect. A famous herald, well versed in the diplomatic protocol, has arrived at our court. He goes by the name of Roger Norwood and is proposing his service to us. Our Chamberlain is saying that we can make good use of this man. I quite like that sigil. Well, you even got. You're a very good diplomat. Yeah, I can always use more men. House Norwood. I quite like that sigil. Let's find you a match as well then. Get you a marriage. There's got to be someone around here, hasn't there? Khalees Yellowbrook and Andor. Have we got any others? Someone from our own realm would be nice, to be honest, if we've got any. Or at least someone of the 7 who's around your age. No, we don't want any Valerians. How old are you? 33. There isn't many around of a younger age, is there really? Who are... We've got a Will, but that'd be
a bit random, wouldn't it? A random crescent. Let's have a look. Okay, has our host arrived yet? Yes, 25,000 strong in the Bloody Gate, led by Florian Warder. Where's Ambrose disappeared to now? Ambrose just keeps vanishing. Let's attack this host in Darkmoor. They do get a slight river crossing, mountain advantage, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for us and the majority of our force. This should be a pretty straightforward, easy victory. Make Florian happy, he gets to go out in the field. We shouldn't lose any men or anyone of importance. Take care of another slight rival. Why these people don't rise up when we're at war? The perfect time for this woman to press her claim would have been while we was at war with the South. That would have been very problematic for us. Blessing on you and your house, I accept the suggestion. Perfect. But yeah, that would have made much more sense for her to do it while we was at war with the South. Not really anything else of interest that we can do, is there? Yeah, we're going to absolutely crush this. Hopefully we can take her captive during this battle. But it doesn't look like we're going to get anything like that happen. Robin of Cape Eagles has died, so Robin Reef does have heirs, so that's good. That's fine, I'm not going to worry about that. And victory at the Battle of Timerton. We've crushed most of the host. Let's march into 9 stars and take care of the other Arryn host. We've got a lot more manpower from the Vale than I expected. A hell of a lot more manpower. Probably not even going to need this second host. We're at 50% war score already because they're an invader. They've got no land that we need to siege down, so it's a pretty easy victory. Making money at an insane amount, 22, 23 gold a month. They've now retreated to Crabshaw, so we'll march down there and take care of them. That's fine. My Master at Arms Danish Royce has told me about a remarkable weaponsmith residing in Oldcastle. Perfect. Yes, a fine idea. Let's meet them. Can we march into Crabshaw, please, and take care of this host? Well over in manpower, so that's fine. By the time we even get this army rallied at Gultan, it's going to be too late. Once the weaponsmith's craftsmanship has been checked by my most knowledgeable people. Okay, Harith the weaponsmith, yep, pretty decent. We are going to make a lance for House Redguard. And yeah, of course we wouldn't go into battle with anything but the best. And we're going to name that lance Giant Slayer, after the lance that Sir Davos Redguard used to slay a giant from beyond the wall all those years ago, back in the early days of Andalia. And here we go, yeah, we're going to crush this host. 5,000 more manpower, but exceptional commanders in control. Florian isn't going to have any issue to completely slaughter this. It's been 100... Oh, wow. It has been hundreds of years since the clansmen have threatened the Vale with anything more than serious raids. However, word has spread of a king who has united the clans and has assembled a large band of warriors intent on taking the fertile lands of the Vale for themselves. Okay, that's interesting. Surely they cannot match armoured knights. King Thorin of the Mountain Clans. Also, that's okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting, because I couldn't find any mountain clansmen before from the mountains, so at least now we are going to have characters of that ilk, and he's got plenty of people in his court, so this could be very interesting. Ambrose Sevenstar brought a favour from Yorick Flax, and Battle of Artis Fort was a great success, and there we go, that is the end of that. Enforced demands at the age of 29, your subject Yorick Rook was slayed by Lord Edric of Mistlewood during a trial by combat. Okay, so is that his brother or cousin? Not sure how they're related, but Edric Rook, the Lord, has absolutely destroyed Sir Yorick Rook. I want to know how these are related now. Are they cousins by the looks of it? Yes, they are cousins. So for some reason his cousin has stepped out of line and he has slayed him in single combat, which is going to affect him now, isn't it? Because people are going to view him as, yeah, as a suspected kinslayer now, which is a shame. And there we go, that was a exceptionally easy war, wasn't it? Let's be honest. We had to disband our manpower soon, take care of the traitor. We'll let her rot. As I'm walking towards Master Harith Smithy, I could not hear the sound of progress, but instead the sound of voices talking. I found Harith and my son Prince Ambrose discussing different metals in their competition. All this talk was making my head spin and definitely halting the progress on my work. There is no harm. Harith is taking some time to help Ambrose. What does Harith think? No, there's no harm in that. That's fine if he's going to progress and make Ambrose a better character. And her son is going to be our son-in-law, but
It's tough, really, isn't it? We're going to execute the imprisoned. She will be beheaded. Try and usurp our lands. Let's disband our military. Command is no longer affecting us. Corella Riswell is now known as the Downcast. Interesting name. We still got the creeds there? Yes, we have. Good. Soon we'll be able to take what's left of the north, I think, finally. My prisoner Sir Duncan is complaining about his dark cell. Who even is Sir Duncan? We'll let him rot for now. And my prisoner... Okay, so these are people from that battle, I'm guessing. The wars in the Great House of Andalia have subsided for now. And we have Jared, a Riverman. Let him rot for now. Right, so let's have a look at these prisoners that we've got. Can we banish them to the water? We've got Duncan. Banish him to the Night's Watch. We'll be merciful. We'll banish you to the Night's Watch as well. We won't behead them. We took care of the leader, Halman, who's actually... Oh, he's a Riverman, okay. We'll banish you to the Night's Watch as well. And Jared will also be banished to the Night's Watch. None of them were good enough to recruit. We got our own decent young commanders, didn't we, in the last episode, who we can make use of. The war has ended. You wish to reappoint the old council? Yes, of course. Of course we do. How long do we have left till we can end this and finally take what's left of the north? We have... Awesome. 3 months remaining and we can finally press our claims on the north. Is Skagos still independent? They're still at war? Ah, is it because there's a different leader? Ah, okay. Now that is interesting. Let's see if we can do something about that then. We could go and take Skagos. The scribes and coinmasters of the Bank of the Crown have put together the bank's accounts over the past few years. Okay, what have we got? Loan of debtors. We have, wow, someone owes 1,000 gold, 800 gold, another 1,000 gold. So we've got a lot of money owed to the Bank of Andalia. Lord Damon Sevenstar of Maiden's Gate owns a little bit. Samuel Lancer of the Lance. So a couple of our own people do owe money. Okay. Right, so we can actually invade Skagos, which is interesting. Have House Stone. It's pretty cool, actually. I'd probably keep that house there. Probably change the sigil. Driftwood Hall, we have a random house. So who are these actually at war with the north? We could swoop in there and invade Skagos pretty easily and take that. Do I want Skagos or do I want the rest of the north? It is part of the north, I suppose. Is it worth taking? Will Florian really be interested in Skagos? Why not? We may as well take it. Invasion of Skagos, send. We'll just send out the Greyhold. The Greyhold army should be... Wow, that's very, very weak. Is it because of the new lord? Yeah, it must be. He's not got as much of a good opinion of us as his father did. Let's improve that if we can. Maybe we will need the warriors way on. Wow, 19,000 men. That is insane. Yeah, let's... Do you know, we probably don't even need the Greyhold host now, to be honest. The Morgath host will be more than enough. Let's sail that up to Skagos and claim Skagos in the name of King Florian. Should be an easy take. We can put some of the men back in control there. I think there are still some Skagosi houses around. I'm pretty sure there's one. Yeah, here we go. Crow. House Crow. Wow, there's not a lot of members left of House Crow, though, it would seem. There's a random woman. We've got some guy. Who's this? Raymond Seymour. I've been in the employ of Lord Theobald, but now I seek a better station. I humbly request that you to join you in Sevensport. What would he become if we let him join? He would become our Master of Laws. He is pretty good. Who is our current Master of Laws? Lord Anvil, isn't it? Who is also very good, but I don't really want to turn down having this guy in our court. I'll say no. And then can we invite him to court anyway? No, he's not going to be. Well, maybe if I send him a gift. No. Never mind. It's a shame because he's really impressive, Raymond Seymour, but he's not as good as Lord Anvil, and Lord Anvil's more powerful. It'd be good to keep him on side. Is he the last Crow male? Be a shame. Apparently there's only 4 living members, so there's a very good chance that he could be. So I would like to get some of those houses back, just to stop them dying out, because too many of these ancient houses are dying out because of poor AI. Yeah, it looks like all of the Crows but him are dead. Did I see that he had a brother? Pretty sure it said he had a brother. Was he not a crow? No, he's a Stark. So he is the last crow. That's a shame. Donald Crownless died stillborn at the age of 0. And here we go, we've got the Riswell army. Let's dock our army right there in Skagos. We'll take care of the Riswell host. Smash that, which is then going to make it easier for us when we do try and take the north, at least. Your Grace, we've received word from Sarsfield. Lord Theo has led a coalition in defence of Skagos. Yeah, it doesn't really... Okay, so random First Men are apparently getting involved in this war because we're invading a First Man kingdom. It's not really going to affect us, is it, when we've got this huge host here? Do you know what? I'm actually going to put Lord Morgoth in control of that. Let him do it himself. And we'll send some of these young lads as well. We'll go for Alistair Crowley and Jormar Waves. Let's let them make a name for themselves, these young lads. And we have docked on Skagos, a very poorly defended King's House. Do we take care of the... Let's get rid of the Riswell host, just to stop the North winning that war before we get a chance to. Lord Danis has secluded himself in Runestone and thus unable to perform his tasks. Why? What is wrong with him? Is there something kicking off? Have we got an illness down in the Vale that we don't... Oh, the bloody Fullux. Great. That's fine. You take care of yourself, Royce. Even though you was in Sevenstar, so I don't really know why you've had to go back there to where the Flux is to hide from it. You could have just stayed in Sevenstar out of the way and been safe anyway. And a truce is very close to expiring, as we know. So this is going to be easy to take care of. I am most sorry, my High King, Harith said apologetically. The weaponsmith has informed me that the precious metals and special tools need blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's always the case. We'll pay more money for it, that's fine. Florian the open-handed, the charitable, rewarding all these people. We obviously rewarded Lord Belmont for his great service with a high lordship, so he's been rewarded. We rewarded House Mud with their sword. Danes Royce, don't really need to reward him. He's on the council, he's our best friend. Could maybe do something for him, but I don't know what, considering they've already got great armour and a great sword. We're now going to reward House Redguard. And then I think we had Lord Turnbridge and Lord Stark, who were quite good, so we'll probably have to look into something for those as well. See what we can do for them. Lord Clifford of Wickham died frothing at the mouth. Oh, he was the Lord, okay. King Timus the Kind revoked the lordship of Fair Isle from Romand Farman. Well, that is a shame. That's going to unland the Farmans, isn't it? Unless his son will get it. Why are they Valyrian? Lady Catelyn Stoneheart, that still made me laugh. Ransom someone. And, oh, damn it. They won the war before we had chance. We were just too late. That is really annoying. We'll have to come back for it later. That's fine. So that's going to leave someone else probably in charge of Deep Down now, isn't it? That's really, really frustrating. I think I probably will leave Skagos as Old Gods. We'll only give it to First Man people. Son was born to Byam and Pierce Snow, named Wilbick Herock. Weird name, we'll have to change that. Bring those troops home, that's really annoying, but the truce is almost over. Magister Maphaso Marakis of Pentos has failed to pay interest on a loan. The council voted for action. Yes, we want our money back. Did we pay our loan back? No, we didn't. We'll pay it back at some point. It's our bank anyway, so... reduce loan interest. Use your status within the Bank of the Crown to negotiate a reduced interest rate on your loan with the bank. We could do that if we need to, but we'll have more than enough money to deal with it. Anyway, let's bring these troops back home. And we're going to be able to go to war with the North now anyway, so it's a shame that we've missed out on that. It's annoying that we're going to have to disband this host to re-raise it to take the North. We're not going to need a lot of manpower to take the North, to be honest. Have we got any minor titles that need filling? I don't think. We need a Master of the Hunt. Let's have a look. They've all got great opinion of us anyway. Is there any High Lords that need a better opinion of us? Lord Dirt, Lord Seymour. Let's bring the Seymours back in. Yeah, everything else is filled. Wait for these ships to return so that we can disband our manpower and then go to war with the North. And there's probably going to be quite a bit of land up for grabs once we do take that, so we can finally land some of our unlanded characters. Let's disband our host. I'm just going to have a look what land we have got in the North, which is random actually. We have got the Glovers, of course, in Deepwood. They will keep that title. We've got a second branch of House Glover in Acorn Grove, which I'm not too sure about keeping. Then again, he has a direwolf, which is pretty cool. We could keep a second branch of Glover. Wolfswood, we have House Wood, so they'll keep their land. Kingsgrove, House Flint, no idea what they're doing there, but he also owns Breakstone. Ironrath, we have House Forrester. Pines End, Liddell, so they'll keep it. The House Riswell of Crow's Edge will be removed. Arundel, House Knott, Breakstone Hill, House Flint. We'll keep that Flint. We'll take Kingsgrove off them. Shadowmoor will take from House Crow, and then we'll give him back the High Lordship of Skagos. So then we'll have that to give away, unless some of the Mountain Hill Clansmen are still around. North Road will take from that random house. Last half of the Umbers are still around, as I know. Last River, there's another branch of House Umber. Seal Shore, Liddell. Do we have Liddell over here still? I'm pretty sure I've seen Liddell. Yes, that's a different branch of House Liddell. Love the beard, my friend. But yeah, we'll take that and put someone else in power there. And then we've got 2 lordships to give away out on Skagos as well. So we are going to have a few lordships to give away. We do have River Run that we need to do something with off screen. I keep forgetting to remove this guy and put someone else in power. Can we now? All betrothed can marry. Prince Engar can marry his bride. Perfect. Has Prince Engar been knighted yet? Nope. Right, so we will declare war. Invasion of the North is not what we wanted to do, because then it means we're going to have to destroy the title, which is something we don't want to do. So, we might not be able to get everything though. We'll press all our claims, and hopefully we can take a good chunk of it. They'll surely honour their obligations. What manpower are we going to need? We'll call up the Stark manpower. We'll call up the Belmont power, which isn't massively powerful, but it's a new High Lordship. They still need to grow. Firehands. Firehands want to get in on slaughtering some heathens, of course. Riswells. Do we call up any more manpower? Is that going to be enough? That might be enough. If we get the Grey Stark host as well, which is now stronger because of that gift that we sent, that's probably going to be enough manpower, if I'm perfectly honest. May you live in harmony and contentment. I accept the suggestion. Perfect. Adara Blackwood has arrived at our court. Right, so let's have a look what we've got here. 8,000 men led by Florian will lead it himself, with Walder Roseheart and Prince Ambrose. These 2 hosts, if we can meet in Florian Square, along with this host, if it can avoid. We're going to have to leave that host there for now on Bear Island. The Grey Stark host will be led by, who have we got? Let's send that led by Maynard. And we'll send that straight over the border into the Umberlands. That might be enough manpower. We'll call up more if we need it. It doesn't look like the Riswells have a great amount of manpower, so we're probably not going to need it, if I'm honest. We'll just do it slowly. Prince Engar Sevenstar and Adara Blackwood have gotten married. It's customary for a dowry to be paid to the groom's house. The bride has already received her inheritance. Right, here we go. King Timus the Kind has created the High Lordship of Sarsfield. I wonder who's put in control of Fair Isle now. And the Lannister stayed independent, which is quite annoying. Let's have a look. Fair Isle. Who have we got in charge of Fair Isle now? He's kept it for himself, so House Farman has been unlanded, which is a shame. I do quite like House Farman. Ever since, was it our Darkling series where we landed them in the on Driftmark or Dragonstone? Lord Salmon of the Lance died from too much drinking. Well, no wonder that he's not fighting in this war then. Who is the new lord? A young child, Lord Mance of the Lance. Mance of the Lance? Oh, Marek of the Lance. Ugh. Why couldn't it be Mance? Mance of the Lance. That would have been better. Right. So it looks we've got 6,000 manpower here. Let's march straight for Deepwood Mott. They will surely honour their obligation. Do you know what? In fact, then, King Timus the Kind has declared the South Torrin Peak de Jour War. Okay. You here, led by Belmont, because this is actually his army. Stay where you are for now, and Mance Chainbreaker can lead his own army as well. Then the Firehand host can be led by Byron, Alistair, and Brian, Alistair, and Jormar Waves are young commanders. Should be a pretty easy war. It's going to mainly be sieging. That's going to take some time probably, but it's not too bad. We could send in more forces, I suppose, to get it over with quicker. It's going to upset more vassals. I just want to get it out of the way quickly. Can this host march onto Deep? No. If they march now, they're going to get into battle. Fearmore Fen has had Weirwood Bow added to his treasury, and Lord Fearmore of the Neck has inherited the High Lordship of the Neck and other titles from Lord Walton. Okay. Is that his brother? Or is it his son? His son. Wow, he had him young. Your Grace, I write to express my consternation at the fact that Sir Brian of Brondred enjoys command. We'll smooth that over because he is a much better commander, Winton. I do apologise. I know you're our friend, but you're not exactly a commander. We're going to crush that Riswell host. That's fine. So we'll march. Now that we know that we're going to meet them there, we'll march everybody else on to meet us there. I was struck with nervous excitement when Master Harith announced that the lance was nearing its completion. Today I've received the master in my throne room. The lance will... the Impaler, the Trident, the Piercer. We'll just say the Impaler for now and we'll rename it to Giant Slayer. There we go. And now that that's in our treasury, young Lord Elmo Redguard, we will give you this artifact in honour of your father who died for us in battle, and in honour for your ancient house. We will give you... where is it? Giant Slayer. Increase your opinion by 45%. Mounted troops plus 5%, monthly prestige, personal combat. There we go. Send. Perfect. That's another house rewarded for their great service in the war against the South. Got to keep up with that charitable trait. We know that Florian is very open-handed to his vassals, so we'll keep doing that. This 9,000 has now formed, so let's move those. We'll just move them onto this land, actually. We'll siege down as much land as we can, hopefully taking as much as we can in the war. Then it'd be good if we could just take all the north in this last attempt. The last half is under siege. Elmo Redguard has had Giant Slayer added to their treasury. What a splendid object. You are very welcome, Elmo. Very welcome indeed. And there we go. If we can take... wow. Wow. Deepwood Motte is insanely well defended. We are going to need to call up more manpower, I believe, then. Let's call... is that 7 ships there? Yeah. Upon her death, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she's cashed out from the bank. That's fine. Pyron Seymour is now known as the Mad. He's gone... turned into a lunatic with gonorrhea. Interesting, lovely. It was always going to be hard, I suppose, to outshine good old Enger. Let's get Maynard Morgoth leading this host of his own manpower, and let's just march those north. Start sieging down as much land as possible. I didn't expect Deepwood Motte to be so well defended. Incredibly well defended, in fact. What's the last half like? Quite well defended. We've got a poor supply line here. Let's get... do we have a siege leader? Siege leader. Surely we've got at least one siege leader. I'm sure that we did have. Apparently not. Okay, we'll get Alistair Crowley in charge of that host. There we go. We've got more manpower here now. Hopefully that will slowly begin to siege that down. Should we call up more manpower just to get it over with even quicker? We have got a very small fleet of 7 ships from the Riswell lands. Let's call up our manpower from the old Andalian lands, shall we? March on to Sevensport, and we'll call up our host in Sevensport as well of 11,000. Oh, that's going to be an easy siege. We'll straight away go for the siege of the Wolfswood because it's just going to be easy to take down. The age of 2, your subject Sharia High Oak died frothing at the mouth. Awkward. Siege of Forest Refuge was completed. We'll wait and assault the next castle as well. It's fairly weak. We'll let the Firehands do their thing and just ravage the firstmen of the Wolfswood. This grand host that we've got here now, we will march on to Winterfell. They can rally in Winterfell, and then we'll split them up all throughout the north to siege down all of the territory, hopefully giving us all of that territory, and we can finally finish our conquest of the north. Let's assault again. And there is still one more to assault, which is going to be very easy. 169 troops. Not a problem at all. Let's march this host onto Acorn Grove then. Or should we... no, we'll go for Acorn Grove, yeah. We'll go for Acorn Grove first. It's going to be easier to take, isn't it? Last half is going to take some sieging, that's fine. So Deepwood Motte has a higher fort level, 9, than the last half, 7. Didn't think it would have for there just being a Motte and Bailey wooden fortress. Then again, I don't really know what the last half's supposed to be like. Is there any say of what the last half looks like?
Something I thought I had suppressed and finally subdued has risen inside me. Unchaste thoughts have begun to appear in my mind. I can't resist her. Oh, dirty old Florian is back. You dirty old dog. Still stressed, apparently, which is a shame. But the chaste has gone. We're a rebel leader, apparently. Not sure why we're a rebel leader. Makes no sense. Right. That's going to... just doing some damage up here, isn't it? I liked having you as my friend, but our differences are too great. We have nothing in common anymore, I feel it would be best if we were no longer friends. Lord Dana's words did not... I want to be your friend. Don't throw away our friendship. Florian refuses to give up on their friendship. Yes, of course. Danes is one of our closest friends. We're not losing Danes. One of our most powerful vassals, one of our closest friends, and... oh, okay, so... Beyond the Wall is starting to come together as one kingdom, slowly. Acorn Grove, can we siege that? Fairly strong, can't just assault it just yet. Do have these 17,000 men on the way to Ironrath, which will then split up. A daughter was born to Derwa Snow and Sir Alistair Crowley, named Alana Snow. So, illegitimate. Alistair Crowley, you dirty little boy. Oh, that's a fairly strong Riswell host. We're going to have to take care of at some point. Lord Guy of Seaguard has declared Seaguard the Neck de Jour War over Gravesome and Lord Fearmore of the Neck. Can we... we can offer you a non-aggression pact, so we'll do that. And then we'll ask you to stop your war. Don't want any of these inner conflicts. Really don't want any inner conflicts. Lord Roderick of Ghoultown revoked the city of Ghoultown. Okay, peace with you. I accept your non-aggression pact. Can you end your war now as well then, please, your grace? I will, of course, obey. Thank you, Sir Guy. Do not want inner conflicts. You've got your lands. Be happy with them. Perfect. 8,000 in Winterfell. Let's merge those together. March those straight onto Kingsgrove to siege that land down. Maynard Morgoth is now known as the Mad. I thought he was the Mad anyway, but okay. Your squire, Athos Highoak, has finally become a man grown. His training under your guardianship comes to an end. As a knight, you can choose to knight young Athos. That is if you deem him worthy. Didn't become a very good fighter, did he, unfortunately? But yes, we will knight him and make him happy. Rise, Sir Athos Highoak. That means that we need a new ward now then, doesn't it? Who's our other ward? Meribald Roseheart. Let's have a little look quickly then. Let's find a character. Search realm. For God's sake, another dragon is back. Very annoying. Adult. No. Who's got the best martial of the children? Wow, that Reed chap's pretty good. Go for a younger Maynard Greystark. Wow, he's pretty good, but he'd be better suited to somebody else, to be honest. Meribald Roseheart, who's already in our service. Owen, Prince Owen Sevenstar. We do have our own, one of our sons that we could go for, I suppose. May just go for him then, to be honest, and have our own son as a squire. Don't look like there's any others, really. Yeah, let's go for Owen, our son, then. See if we can make him into a decent fighter. Take on young Owen. Owen. Where are you? Owen Sevenstar. Azine Guard. Did I just say he's a formidable fighter? What? No way. He's 9 years old. Ah, Lord Danes of Runestone. Ah, he's already got a guardian under Dane. Yeah, well, Danes seems to be doing a good job. We'll leave him there. That's absolutely insane. Okay. I think I've ever seen a Marek Bolton who'd be very good. He's not very martial based, but I can't get over that. Is there any other? There's got to be somebody with decent fighting who's still young enough that we can make an impact on them. 14, a little bit old. 15, 7, 15. Princess Kyra, she's a skilled fighter as well. Ronald Bloom, what is he training? He's thrift. You need to get him a better guardian, really, anyway, then, don't we? Because you're not the best one. Let's assign a guardian to you. Someone good at stewardship. Let's send you to Engar. Prince Engar at 16 can now have his own wards. There's got to be somebody in here who's from a noble house, who's good at fighting that we can improve on. Who's still fairly young. Green skin, grey stock. Another Roseheart. Alfredus Roseheart. Giant, strong, poor fighter and a squire. Unless he already has. He doesn't already have a
Decent Guardian, does he? No, he doesn't, so we'll take him on. We love training up Rosehearts, it would seem. Florian, send. There we go. We'll have 2 young Rosehearts as our squires. I can't believe that Prince Owen is a formidable fighter at the age of 9. That's just absolutely ridiculous. How is that even possible? Bless him on you, I accept your guardianship. Perfect. I'm going to do some guardianships off screen. I think we could do with doing some more. Let's send these. Send all this manpower to there. Let's split in half. Send 10,000 northward. Get as much of this land under siege as we can. And that guardianship has been accepted. Perfect. Betrothed can marry. Aphos High Oak and Princess Kyra, our very impressive fighting daughter. Yes. Their marriage is done. We're going to have to send a dowry now, aren't we, to that, which is a little annoying, but we've got a bit of gold, so why not? We are open-handed, as we know, so your wisdom and legendary are perfect. I accept your suggestion. Is he in our court? Because I'd rather have him and our daughter back in our court, to be honest. He's more loyal to us, and we will give them, yeah, we'll give them plenty of gold and silver. We're very generous. It puts us in debt again, but we'll soon be out of that debt with this war. Let's merge these together, split in half. We'll send 6,000 onto Breakstone. We'll get all of this land under siege. I want to take all of the north in this war. This one is not going as well up here, as well as hoped. Peace with you, I gladly accept your invitation. Perfect, so him and our daughter are back in our court. I want to be able to make use of Kyra. She's a very skilled fighter by the looks of it. We've got 4,000 men here in Winterfell left behind. Let's march those to join the last half host, just to reinforce it a little bit. Or can we actually assault this? Yeah, we will. Then we'll go for the assault. Very easy victory. We can go for another assault in a moment. We'll let the army split out a bit so we can see what we're actually working with. 2 days until we can assault again for a very easy victory. And they've still got a weirwood grove left, a godswood, so we'll go for that. Assault again, perfect. These men now, we'll wait for that host to move out of the way so we can actually see what we're working with. Acorn Grove is almost under our control. Right, 15,000. Merge together. Split in half. We'll send 7,000 to Pine's End. And the other 7,000 can go to Crow's Edge. Victory in the Groves Fort. Perfect. Acorn Grove is now under our control completely. That leaves 8,000 there. Let's move them on to Deepwood Motte just to reinforce the manpower there a little bit more. It wasn't until several weeks after the banquet I heard about it and wondered why I was not invited. Aren't Lord Winton and I friends? Maybe he forgot. Not anymore. We need to talk. Maybe he forgot. We won't worry about it too much. Don't be such a drama queen, Florian. Right, 5,000 here. Let's send those to Last River. Can Ironrath be assaulted? No, Ironrath's pretty strong. Fair enough. Send those 15,000 north to take care of those lands. Perfect. We're already at 80%, but I want to siege down every bit of northern land and take every last bit if possible. So we're going to be carrying on the war way after 100%. How's the siege of the last half going? Halfway down. Let's fast forward and get our armies into position. Your Grace, for too long now, Walter Dartling has occupied my rightful seat, and I will stop at nothing. Blah, blah, blah. No, I will not act against him. And your flagship, Enger Hotspur, has given years of good service to the Andalian fleet, but is now aging. She must be kept in the fleet. We'll have to pay money out. Lord, the Enger Hotspur ship has been around for years. We're going to keep her going. Your Grace, I've been instructing young Enger in the ways of sword and lance as requested. I'm pleased to say he appears to be a natural. His martial prowess has improved greatly. He is now a skilled fighter. Prince Enger, he has been knighted now. He is a brilliant steward. Awesome, so that went exceptionally well. Well, we know what that means then, guys. We've been grooming him for this role for years. Older Enger, who, oh god, he actually likes us now. We'll leave it as it is for now. We'll let him get a few more years experience, and then we're going to put the other Enger into that role instead of our brother.
Right, so all of this being sieged down, literally taking everything. Thomas Lannister has transferred the vassalage contract with somebody. Okay. How powerful is this lordship? Not that great. What about this one? Any of these that we can siege? Yeah, we can assault that and take that easily enough, I think. Yeah, there we go. Can we siege down any of these other territories, maybe? Surely Breakstone Hill will be easy to take. Yes, there we go. We can assault that. Ironrath still holding in strong. Deepwood Motte still holding in strong. Lord Morgan of the Grey Cliffs decided to exile Hoarfrost Greystark. Amazing name. Lots of Greystarks around now, isn't there? Considering that there was like none not too long ago. The last river. We'll have to get that siege down a little bit more first. Let's attempt an assault here. Gonna have to let that host recover a little bit more first. There we go. King Thomas the Kind has declared the South Riverland de jure war over the rivers and hills on King Walter Fowler. We're probably going to have to help out in that war then, aren't we? Can we... We can offer to join that war. We'll take care of the north and then we will offer to help him out. We want to stop him from being invaded. We put that buffer state there for a reason. We're going to have to go to war with the south yet again, it would seem. Greystarks and the Blooms have now got an alliance, which is cool. It's fine by me. Let's assault this last area. Let's march on to Arundel to get that under control. Can we assault here again yet? No, it's actually quite strong, to be fair. It's not too bad. Too bad of a territory. Deepwood Motte is finally going to fall soon. 17,000 men there. Do you know what? Surely we can assault that and take that. We've weakened it enough. Yeah, there we go. Deepwood Motte has fallen. What's the second province like? Pretty good still. 9,000 moving north. Last half is almost about to fall. We're not going to be able to assault. Okay, they've got some more manpower from somewhere. Lord Thomas of Cornfield used out the lordship of Lannisport from Corella Lannister, who is now in the Bolton territory, which is an interesting place to flee to, I suppose. Do you know what? We could help out the south. We do have all of our Riverland and Vale army that could help him out. How much manpower has he got? 32,000. Yeah, we're going to be able to go in there and help out and absolutely crush that southern host, aren't we? We'll keep an eye on it. We just need to take care of this first, and we can bring all these troops south as well, which is a lot of manpower. All of the Wolfswood completely under our control now. Arundel, how well defended is that? Pretty well defended. Ironrath still hanging in there. Pines End, can we assault again? Oh, it's fairly, actually decently strong, so not just yet. Can't assault here for another 4 days, and we're going to have to grind it down just a little bit more anyway. My ward Meribald is turned into an arrogant little braggart. I might have to rein him in a little. Tell him pride goeth before fall. Gains the trait humble. Could lose the trait proud. No, he has reasons to be proud. Gains the trait proud. Proud's not a bad trait, really, is it? Monthly prestige, ambition, opinion. Yeah, we'll let him keep proud. Why not? Do not speak to me of obligation. Oh no, I've got someone kicking off down south. That's fine. Last half has fallen. Perfect. Deepwood Motte. It is almost in our hands now. We can move those 15,000 men northward. Let's move them on to Shadowmoor. Get that under our control. Last river is almost about to fall. Do you know what? We'll go for the assault there. We can take that. Get that under our control. Perfect. Last half is under our control. We're nearly there now. We're nearly there. We've just got to then go over to Skagos and get that under our control. There's a small host of Riswell men there, but they're not too much trouble for us, really. Can we win them? Level 9 fortress. Pretty strong, old Ironrath. We can assault Crow's Edge and take that. Perfect. The second area of it is a lot stronger for some reason. I think we'll end the episode here, though, mid-war, guys, and we will finish the war for the North and then get involved in Southern politics yet again in the next episode. So thank you all so much for watching, as always, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of the Knights of Andalia. Florian reached the top of the watchtower and took a long, deep breath, inhaling the icy northern air. Years ago, he would have climbed these steps in a sprint without a second thought, but the years and his extravagant lifestyle had chipped away at the aging king's former glory. With a deep chuckle, he clapped his hands down upon his keg-shaped belly and filled the cold night air with mist as he struggled to catch his breath. "We'd really ought to do something about this, old boy," he laughed as he released his busting gut to wobble free as he clasped his hands upon the watchtower railing for support. From up here, he could see the entirety of the seat of the ancient northern house of Glover. They called this stronghold Deepwood Motte, and it lived up to that name. For whatever direction the king looked, he could see nothing but a vast dark ocean of thick towering sentinels. Here and there the odd spot of red shone as the moon hit a weirwood sprouting out of the canopy below. There was something fairly peaceful and calming about the vast open emptiness of these northern territories. It was refreshing to get away from the hustle and bustle of the crowded Sevensport street. But even so, something about these lands was also rather unsettling for Florian. He felt a constant feeling of being watched, as if the woods and plains were not as empty as they seemed. A shudder shot up his spine as a lone wolf howled longingly somewhere in the vast darkness of the woods named for it. This snapped Florian back to reality as he continued to inspect the castle. In truth, Deepwood Motte was no stronghold. The castle was old, ancient in fact, standing since what the Maesters called the Age of Heroes, thousands of years before Enger the Conqueror had even stepped foot upon the north. The long hall sat upon a high, flat hill, which was where Florian stood now, atop its watchtower, 50 feet above. It was said that this was the tallest object this side of the northern mountains. Below the hill sat the rest of the wooden castle. In the bailey, containing a modest stables, paddock, smithy, old well, and a sheepfold. The outer walls were defended by a ditch, earthen dyke, and a palisade of logs. The keep's outer walls were thick in dark green moss, probably 10 times that the age of Sevensport. These were protected by 2 square towers and walkways where the 7-pointed star could now be seen flapping gently in the evening breeze, alongside the mailed fist of House Glover. His men now walked them. East and west of the castle were small fields of oat and barley. Florian had put the small folk to work on harvesting these fields during the timely siege of Deepwood. By the time Lord Theodore surrendered his home to the king, his granaries and larders were run dry. Florian had no intention of allowing them to remain this way. The castle's harvest, as well as many exotic supplies and gifts from the capital, had been prepared for what would be his new vassals. Unbeknown to Lord Theodore, Florian intended to bestow this upon all of the northern houses as he welcomed them into his realm. He would visit each holdfast in turn after they had fallen, bringing its lords to their knees, seeing the red 7-pointed star hanging from their walls before helping them back to their feet, giving them a small taste of the advantages of being a loyal vassal to House Sevenstar. The harvest down in the Riverlands and Vale had been plentiful this summer, so there was much and more to go around. If the lords should refuse, then new laws would be raised in their place. Florian's court was never shy of opportunists or loyal knights desperate for the chance to hold their own seat. Suddenly, Florian was broke from his thoughts by the echoing sound of quiet footsteps climbing the tower in haste. He turned to see the elder of his 2 rose-heart squires, Merrybold. The boy was a mere 13 years old, and already stood almost as tall and wide as the king himself. A true rose-heart in name and shape. The boy was as strong as an ox, but as quiet as a mouse. He came before the king in his usual sheepish manner, his head down between his shoulders, looking awkwardly at his shuffling feet. Gods be good, Florian thought, rolling his eyes. The boy had served him for years now, and still refused to look him in the eye. "Well, go on, boy, spit it out," Florian roared, whilst grinning from ear to ear. He often enjoyed teasing the young boy, much to his lady wife's annoyance, but it was always in good jest and only meant to help build the young lordling's confidence. But try as he may, Merrybold refused to come out of his shell. The boy fumbled and nervously began to speak. "Word from Lord Morgoth, your grace. The last half has fallen.
The seven-pointed star now flies alongside the chained giant. Lord Umber accepts your generous offer of Princess Lyanna's hand in marriage to his grandson, and looks forward to your visit. The boy looked up and met Florian's eyes, before quickly returning to inspect the floor. Also, Your Grace, Lord Glover has had time to consider your terms, and is now ready to negotiate. The feast you ordered below is ready to begin, Your Grace. A sense of pride filled Florian. Excellent news, my boy, he said heartily, roaring with laughter, patting his young ward so hard on the back he almost stumbled from the watchtower. With the submission of the two most powerful lords remaining to what was left of the once sprawling north, Florian would finally complete the Conqueror's vision. For too long his house had lost their way and forgotten their true calling, to squabble amongst themselves instead. But now, Florian had done what even Aengar I himself could not.